Today we are going to cover chapter number 3, effects of British rule. As we know, Britishers had ruled over us almost 200 years. So as a part of this country, we should know what were the effects of British rule. And you can observe the pictures also. While seeing these pictures, you will estimate the condition of India during British time. Now we are going to see Europe continent because first of all, continent means a big land masses is known as continent. In the whole world, we are having 7 continents. And England, you can say England also, you can say United Kingdom. And this country both is same. And this country is part of Europe continent. And the first country who discovered India and started trading, it was Portuguese. So, Portuguese, they use the sea route. While using this sea route, they moved to India. And after discovering India, they occupied some part of India also and have a trade with India. They got number of benefit from us. So they attracted other European countries like Dutch, French and British. Among these European countries, we are going to discuss only British because British, they almost occupied the India and they ruled over us for so many years. So that's why we are going to see British in detail. Now move to next thing. British and Marathas. When you were in the 4th standard, you had a Marathas history. You must have heard about Raja Ram, Shivaji, Shambhaji. So when India had a domination of British. At the same time, others Maratha had been leading towards India. Now we are going to see how Marathas, okay, not all Marathas, some Marathas invited British to have a domination over India. For example, Raghunath Rao, okay, Raghunath Rao, he had the dream to rule over Marathas position, to become a Peshwa. Peshwa means prime minister, okay, the Peshwa term is prime minister. So Raghunath Rao, he wanted to become Peshwa after the death of Madhav Rao, because after death of Madhav Rao, his children had a right to become Peshwa. But he was quite interested. Who? Raghunath Rao. So that's why he approached to Britishers. And when he asked help from the Britisher, so Britishers were quite happy. Britishers, they made the path to enter in the Indian politics. Means because of Raghunath Rao, Britishers got the initial stage to enter in Indian politics. But other Marathas, they realized the mistakes of Raghunath Rao. So that's why all Marathas united and they fought against the Britishers. And it was known as Anglo-Maratha War. Anglo means Britishers, Maratha, as we know Marathas, both they fought. Initially, Marathas won the war. But later on, Marathas were defeated by Britishers. So that's why Marathas had to sign the treaty. Treaty means, suppose if we want to conclude something, we just want to end up. It is then we are supposed to sign the treaty or agreement. So Marathas, they signed the treaty and the name of the treaty was Salbai Treaty. Understood means all the powers went into the hand of Britishers, and because of this it created an internal conflict within Marathas. Now move to the next slide. Subsidiary alliance. Alliance means agreement. So once again we had to sign the agreement, and this agreement was introduced by Britisher Lord Wellesley. Who introduced subsidiary alliance? Lord Wellesley in 1798. According to this agreement, British would go into control over military department, means all the army soldiers commanders would be in the control of Britishers according to subsidiary alliance, and this alliance was signed by Bajirao II. Now you tell me children, was it good decision taken by Bajirao II? Think. Yes, the answer is no. It wasn't a good decision taken by him. Like in the previous slide, we came to know Raghunath Rao. He did the mistake. Same way, Bajirao II also, he signed the treaty, subsidiary alliance, and did the mistake. And this treaty is also known as Vasai. You must have heard this name of the station also, Vasai station. So this treaty, the treaty between Bajirao II and Lord Wellesley, was signed at Vasai. That's why this treaty is also known as Treaty of Vasai. And because of this treaty, it increased the interference of British. So at the last, Bajirao II realized he did the mistake. He fought against the Britishers. But sadly, Bajirao II was defeated by British. And Bajirao II, he surrendered under the British in 1818. Now move to next. General Lake captured the Mughal territories. See, Britishers, they were introducing number of treaty agreement, and at the same time they were also capturing the another part of India also. Thus, simultaneously we had a rule of Britishers. Before that, we had a rule of Mughals also, Nawabs also. Understood? And Marathas are also there. See, Marathas, Mughals, Britisher. All they belong to almost same timeline. Chhatrapati Pratap Singh. See, he was very good person. See, we always recognize the person by his work, not by his face. So, Chhatrapati Pratap Singh, when Britishers had been removing everyone from the position and occupying their territory, but this person was still ruling over Satara, and but he had to sign the treaty with the grant of, as we know, whenever any Indian was signing treaty with the Britishers, means they are supposed to lose everything. Same here, Pratap Singh, he signed the treaty, and he had to remove, he had to leave the position of Pratap Singh, okay, of Satara. And these things, sorry for disturbance, sorry. So these things were not liked by his officer Rango Bapuji Gupte. He was officer of Pratap Singh. He realized Britishers, they did the very wrong thing. They signed the treaty and removed the Pratap Singh from the Satara provinces and sent him to Kasi. Okay. So Rangoji Bapu, he went for the battle. Okay, legal battle means he just do the complaint against the Britishers. but everything was under the British control. Finally, Rangoji Bapuji Gupte, he lost the fighting against the British, and Satara was annexed. Lord Dalhousie against Britisher, they captured the Satara. See here, good work. Pratap Singh, he built number of roads, bridges. He helped the poor people also. All his good work was written in one of the book, and the name of the book was Sabha Niti. Now just move to next slide. See here. Dual government means double government. This is like a Britishers. They introduced, the name of the Britisher was Robert Clive. Okay, D is a dual and Clive is a C. Then C and D. Okay, CD. So Robert Clive introduced. According to this government, Nawab, as I said, simultaneously some part of India was ruling under the Mughals. So Britishers, they played one of the technique, okay, because they wanted to remove everyone from their position and have a authority over India. Then said, Nawab, you are going to maintain the law and order. You are supposed to maintain, okay, peaceful environment, and we are going to collect the taxes. So children, tell me, who are becoming more powerful? Yes, Britishers were becoming more powerful. Initially, they captured the military department. Then they captured the tax department. Tax means money. Okay. Then they also captured the police forces. Means all the powerful department, all important things was continuously going in the hand of the Britisher. That's why they ruled almost 200 years. Parliamentary laws. Okay, laws, they started making the laws. Like they increased the position from governor to governor general. Okay, like we are having CM, okay, chief minister. Okay, then chief minister we are having governor, then we are having president, then we are having prime minister. Same way, now then Britishers has been increasing their authorities and their powers. So they increased their position from governor to governor general. And Lord Warren Hastings, this Britisher was the first who became a governor general. And they introduced control policy. Control means to increase the more power. Okay, and Mumbai and Madras means slowly and gradually every state and every cities were in the hand of Britishers. Pitt's Act. They introduced permanent control. Okay, means permanently they are going to control over British. Then they also introduced number of new rules. So all these things they were introducing to have a more control over India, because they want to make their roots as deeper as possible. Now next one is right to equality. Okay, just tell me without seeing anything on the slide. What do you mean right to equality? Right to equality means everyone should be treated equally. There should not be discrimination. So tell me, was any discrimination in India during British time? Yes, there was. They used to treat us unequally. Okay, there was a discrimination between Indians and Britishers. See here. Now differences in judgment, and they set up different law. Okay, code of law and separate courts also. Means for us, for Indians, if we did any mistake and they want to give punishment, so there would be a separate law, there would be a separate courts, there should be a different thing for the Indians. And for the European, something else will be there that we are not knowing it. Means for us, we had a severe punishment, and for European means Britishers, they had a number of flexibilities. Economic policy. Now you can see the picture and you can estimate also. See, Britishers, they set up number of industries. Okay, industrial revolution means number of factories, industries was set up in England, and they required raw materials. For example, if you want to make the garments, so which thing you required? Yes, we required cotton. So uh, same way, Britishers, they wanted raw materials from us. So because of to fulfill their requirement, okay. So Indians' condition becoming very worst. See, facing the exploitation. They means they were using, not using, they were misusing Indians. Okay, so just see the condition. If the Indians were not ready, so they were forced us. Land revenue policy. See, when Britishers were not in India, we used to grow the crops according to our wish. We did not have any enforcement for policies. See, villages were self-dependent. Whatever crops we want to use for as a daily purposes in a food item, that we are supposed to grow. And revenue in the form of the grains, and Indians were supposed to give the revenue taxes in the form of the grains. Suppose I'm growing this amount of crops, so 1/3, 1/4 will go in the hand of king, okay, Nawab, Sardar, like this way. But when Britishers came, they forced us. You are supposed to give the taxes only in the form of cash, not in the form of food, grains. And suppose during any famine, means in a dry climate, no rainfall is there. Suppose no rainfall, so no crops, but we are supposed to give the taxes. If the farmers were not able to give the taxes, their land is going to confiscated, means the land is going to in the hand of British. They will occupy the land, and this way farmers exploited, means they were misused by the Britishers. Now cash crops, we were growing the food crops, but because of Britishers we were forced to grow the cash crops. The name itself, the crops which give money, it is known as cash crops. Okay, famine, just we discussed, when no rainfall is there, dry climate, drought, it is known as famine. During famine, there was no much help. Okay, for example, now we are facing COVID-19, corona, so we always have a positive hope from the Narendra Modi ji government. Why? Because we are giving the precious votes, so we are having some kind of positive outlook. But when we had a rule of Britishers, during that time, no help. In a difficult situation, no help. And development of transportation and communication. Britishers, they introduced number of transportation only for their own purposes, but indirectly they help us also. See here, for convenience of administration, and the first railway was introduced Mumbai to Thane. If you go to Borivali station, I'm talking about current days, Borivali station, the station wall was painted, and this text was written there, the first railway Mumbai to Thane in 1853. Now decline of traditional industry because of Britisher. Number of industries, means like the industry which require the more manpower and which require the handwork more, it is known as a traditional industry. Britishers came, so they had an industry in their native place England, so they used to make number of things, and they used to sell their materials, okay, here in India. So that's why our industries came to decline, because we had a handloom industry almost. Now Khwaji Nanobhai Dawar, he was the first Indian who introduced the first textile mill in Mumbai. We did not have a textile mill before him, so he was the first person who introduced the textile mill, Khwaji Nanobhai Dawar. Then after 2 years, he also introduced the jute mill. Jute mill is like a very soft fiber is there, like we are a cotton plant. Same way we are having the jute plant also, similar to cotton also. Okay, so Now, very important, Jamshedji Tata. So he was the first in 1907. He established iron and steel company. See the picture also, means it shows the gradual development in the industries in India. Now, being human, because of Britishers, we came to know about, first of all, we should be human. During the famine, during any bad condition, they did not help us, so we realized we should be human first. Then democracy means we have a right to select the government. Britishers, they did not ask vote to us. They started ruling over us directly. So it made us aware to have a right to vote and select the government. The nationalism, Britishers, they loved their native place England very much. So similarly, they taught us also. They taught us means we observed, we came to know about how they are loving their country. So in the same way, we should also love our country. It is known as nationalism. Then Max Muller, he found, means he wrote journal and established institution. Name is Asiatic Society of Bengal. Okay, Max Muller. And because of this person, we had a number of, we had no, we have a information about our past information. This journal and this institution, which was about 19th century, and we are living in 21st century. But because of these things, we are having the our information, and we feel pride if we are getting information. So we feel pride because we are gaining information about India. Then sati system, suppose if the married girl's husband die, so girl was forced to die along with the deceased husband pyre. Okay, she was supposed to sit on the top of the funeral pyre of her husband. It was known as sati system. Was it good system in India? No, it wasn't a good system in India. Britishers, they felt very bad. Okay, not like all the time they are doing the bad things. Some things they introduced in India and was good also. Who? Britishers. So Lord William Bentinck, he prohibited sati system. He said close down this system. It was very bad, sati system. Who? Lord William Bentinck. Widow remarriage. Suppose now sati was prohibited. Now unmarried girl will be there. So unmarried girl without husband. Okay. Sorry, but like means sorry means suppose girl's husband die. Okay, girl's husband die. Now she was not allowed to have a normal life, no happiness, no enjoyment, no normal life. Okay, she had to live the life in a miserable way. Okay, she had to face all the difficulties in day-to-day life. And Britishers, they said if the girl, okay, lost the husband, now she can marry again, and it was known as Widow Remarriage Act. It is known as Widow Remarriage Act. It was introduced by Lord Dalhousie in 1856. Who introduced? Lord Dalhousie. Means if the girl husband died, she could marry again. It is known as Lord. It is known as widow remarriage, introduced by Lord Dalhousie. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Please try to listen carefully. If you have any doubt, you can call me personally also. I will clear all the doubt. God bless you all.